What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video, we're going to be covering a brand new filing in the Ripple SEC case that you guys need to see. Ripple just filed a motion to the court attacking the SEC where it hurts them most. The SEC has completely failed in this case to protect the retail investor and has actually gone out of their way to attack XRP holders. Well, apparently Ripple has had enough of this, and in a motion today filed to the court, Ripple absolutely blasts the SEC for their perverse incentives in this case and their failure to protect the retail public. In this video, I want to break down exactly what was in this filing and show you what all the different attorneys on Twitter are saying about this most recent motion out of Ripple. Most importantly though, we're going to break down a key thing that I found in this filing that is going absolutely under the radar. It looks like the SEC is backing off big time from one of their most absurd claims in this case. This could be absolutely huge news for XRP holders like me and you, and could show that the SEC has lost a ton of confidence in this case. Make sure you guys stick around till the end of the video to see that, because this is absolutely huge and could be a massive development in this case going forward. We also had the SEC testify in front of Congress earlier today, and they actually mentioned XRP multiple times. In this video, I'm going to let you guys know the most important things that came out of this congressional hearing. Make sure you stick around for that. Last of all, at the end of this video, we actually had a pretty big development between Ripple and the Federal Reserve and a possible connection to XRP. Make sure you guys stick around till the end of the video to see that, because guys, this is a narrative that is definitely developing and developing fast. You guys are not going to want to miss that. Like always, if you guys are new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Real quick, if you guys are interested in getting 6 free stocks, make sure to check out the link for MOO-MOO down in the description below. If you sign up with MOO-MOO and deposit just $1, you will be eligible to win 6 free stocks, and each one could be worth up to $1,000. So make sure to check that out if you want 6 free stocks. Now guys, before we get to the massive filing out of Ripple, and trust me, you are definitely going to want to see that, because we actually learned something very interesting that could show the SEC is losing a lot of confidence in their case. I want to do a quick recap of what we saw out of the congressional testimony today from the SEC. The SEC's head of enforcement was actually dragged in front of Congress, and very surprisingly, XRP was actually mentioned multiple times. Unfortunately, the first time XRP was mentioned was actually out of Brad Sherman, and if you guys don't know who Brad Sherman is, he is a total crypto skeptic. He hates all cryptocurrencies. He thinks they're all scams. So very little surprise, the first thing that came out of his mouth was that he actually thought that XRP was a security and encouraged the SEC to continue going after different cryptocurrencies. This opinion was very unpopular, and I know you guys may think that this is a very bad thing, but the very important thing to take from this is Brad Sherman hates all cryptocurrencies. It's not just XRP. He wants the SEC to gain control of the cryptocurrency industry so they can essentially stifle the entire industry in the US. So pretty much Brad Sherman started this hearing off hot. He started talking about XRP, and it really perked my ears up, and little do I know, he just went on to say that he thought XRP was a security. I thought Andrew Zell had a very good take on this. He said this is very bullish for XRP because it shows how much of a threat it is to a few market participants. Guys, this Brad Sherman guy is a total corrupt politician. He takes donations from the big banks and pushes whatever narrative he is told to push. I don't think he knows anything that we don't already know. I'm sure he knows actually a lot less. This guy just hates all of crypto. I wouldn't listen too closely to anything he had to say, but it was pretty funny that the first time XRP was mentioned, everyone was kind of getting excited. They're like, oh, this might be interesting. And he just goes on to say it's a security. Whatever, just ignore him. He'll end up being wrong. Nothing he said had any substance to it anyway. I want to move on though and talk about a lot more interesting things for XRP, which came out of Warren Davidson. Warren Davidson essentially directly brought up Ethgate to the head of the SEC Enforcement Division, and this guy looked uncomfortable when Warren Davidson brought up Ethgate. Warren Davidson brought up Bill Hinman's personal speech and asked the SEC why they were picking winners and losers in the crypto industry. The head of the SEC's enforcement division very quickly deflected the question and said that he was not able to talk about it because it related to the ongoing Ripple case. This was pretty interesting because Warren Davidson never actually made the connection between Bill Hinman's speech and the current Ripple case, so the head of the SEC's enforcement division was essentially making the connection that Bill Hinman's Ethereum free pass speech directly impacts the Ripple case. I thought it was pretty interesting that the head of the SEC enforcement division actually made this connection without Warren Davidson bringing it up. It shows how careful the SEC is being about this current Ripple SEC case, and I think kind of indicates that they realize they are in some serious hot water here. I wanted to keep moving though and quickly go over what Senator Pat Toomey had to say. He essentially grilled the SEC for enforcing the crypto industry through regulation by enforcement and warned Gary Gensler that if he continues to regulate the crypto industry through regulation by enforcement, that he will be happy to drag him in front of Congress once Republicans take over after midterms for questioning on why he's punishing different crypto companies without providing any clear rules. I thought this was pretty interesting because it goes to a theory I have had, which is that if Democrats actually lose Congress during midterms, that Gary Gensler will step down to try to avoid the scrutiny he has created at the SEC. Let's keep moving though, and sorry, I know that was kind of rapid fire, but we have a whole bunch of interesting stuff to cover, and now it's time to go over a brand new filing out of Ripple in the current Ripple SEC case. Guys, this thing was very interesting, and I can tell that Ripple is stepping up the pressure big time here. They really attacked the SEC in this filing. What this filing was essentially Ripple taking John Deaton's back and telling the court why John Deaton should be allowed in this case. There was a whole bunch of very interesting lines that Ripple brought up, but a few that really stood out to me was, first of all, this one. I tweeted out, Ripple is making it clear to the court that the SEC has purposely attacked retail investors. This will not end well for the SEC. And if we take a look at what Ripple pointed out in this filing, they directly said the filing of the SEC suit has hurt countless XRP users. 15 billion in XRP value was erased overnight when the SEC filed this suit just before Christmas 2020. The SEC's action has caused nearly every digital asset exchange in the US to delist XRP. Guys, this is a huge statement by Ripple because it is now being brought to the court's attention of how much damage the SEC did to the retail investor when they filed this case. The SEC is supposed to protect retail investors, and to this point, it has not been made extensively clear in this case how much damage the SEC really did to XRP holders. What Ripple was able to do in this motion was explain to the judges that the SEC is completely outside of their mandate and is actually going out of their way to attack XRP holders in this case. I do not think this is going to go over well with the judges at all, who seem like very normal people. They do not seem corrupted at all. They seem like they don't like the SEC, and I think the judges are going to be very sensitive here to the retail public because the retail public is really the people who are being punished most in this case. I think it was awesome by Ripple to bring this up and really just shows to the court that there are a lot of people being affected by the SEC's actions here, and it's not just the SEC versus some massive corporate company. It's the SEC versus corporate company, but the SEC went out of their way to also attack the retail public in this. I think this is a huge loss for the SEC, and I think the SEC made a big mistake even letting this get to this point. What Ripple is doing here is making it so clear to the judge, hey, if you rule XRP as a security, you're not just going to hurt us, you're going to hurt hundreds of thousands of retail holders that the SEC is supposed to be protecting. I think the SEC took a really big loss here, and I think this is really going to resonate with the court. Another huge loss that the SEC took here was the fact that Ripple actually confirmed something that John Deaton's been saying for a while, and that's the fact that the SEC did not interview a single person who purchased XRP when they were essentially making assumptions on what XRP holders were thinking when they bought XRP. The SEC essentially paid an expert to go to the court and say, look, every single person who bought XRP was only doing so because they wanted to invest in Ripple. Unfortunately for the SEC, they just got exposed, and it was just proved that this so-called expert never actually talked to a single XRP holder and was just making stuff up. What Ripple confirmed here is the fact that this guy is essentially just doing what the SEC wants him to do, and the SEC has no interest in actually pushing evidence to the court that supports what XRP holders were really thinking. This is going to do a lot to prove to the court that John Deaton needs to be allowed to argue on behalf of XRP holders because the SEC has absolutely failed to defend the people they're supposed to protect. I think this is going to go a long way in proving to the court that John Deaton needs to be admitted in this case to argue on behalf of XRP holders because the SEC has failed to do so in a proper manner. This will be huge for Ripple because a key attribute of the Howey test is whether or not there is a centralized company driving the profits of the underlying asset. John Deaton is going to prove to the court that XRP holders were not expecting Ripple to increase the value of their XRP, and this is going to be a huge problem for the SEC because it's going to prove that XRP does not pass the Howey test, and this is something the SEC is basing their entire case on. I think this is another huge loss for the SEC, and I'm really excited to see how this plays out. Last of all, and this might be one of the more interesting things we have seen in this case in a while, and is absolutely huge for XRP holders. This was found by the Rippler. He tweeted out, "It seems like the SEC are saying that secondary sales of XRP on the open market are not sales of a security and could qualify for an exemption. Take a look at the footnote." And if we take a look at footnote 2, the SEC directly says, it says only secondary market sales could potentially qualify for an exemption under Section 4 of the Securities Act. This is super interesting because this is one of the first times we actually see the SEC walking back on the statement that all XRP is a security. It looks like the SEC is losing a lot of confidence in this claim, and we have already seen multiple lawyers in this case say that this claim by the SEC is absolutely absurd. There's no way the XRP you and I hold in any way could be a security of Ripple, and it looks like the SEC is figuring this out. The SEC drastically overcharged Ripple, and it looks like now they're trying to walk back on some of these previous statements. This is something we're going to have to watch closely because if the SEC does in fact walk back on this statement, this means that we are completely out of this case and all XRP going forward in no way is a security of Ripple. That means XRP only sold by Ripple directly to market participants would be a security. And guys, that is a completely different issue. It barely affects us. That means that XRP will have certain clarity in the US market before this case is even over because the SEC would be giving up before they even made it to the finish line. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. We have a whole bunch of very critical stuff to unpack this week. The SEC, things are just looking worse and worse for them. Let's see what the different lawyers have to say about this. I'm sure there's going to be so many more interesting things that come out of this. Thank you so much for coming, though, guys. It really means so much. Make sure to like and subscribe. But for now, Mickle out.